Hello, and welcome to this Divine Partnership Coaching video. I want to do a brief talk about recognizing when karmic lessons are being brought to your doorstep to help you heal things that are either creating energy leaks or blockages from your ability to accept abundance and to be, what would be the word, to be a path of ease and most love and least resistance for your divine partner to be able to rendezvous with you. And these karmic lessons can come through in many ways, because karmics can be people, karmics can be habits, like smoking, karmics can be thoughts, and karma is not always bad either. Typically, and for the purposes of these videos, a karmic, whether a person or habit, we're referring to them in that sense of dismissing either negative karma that you built up through ego decisions, trauma decisions, pain body decisions, and the divine path is one where you're creating positive karma. Now, I would say, in my experience, one of the most common ways that the universe brings us cooperative components to heal ourselves and absolve ourselves of negative karma is through bringing back exes and family members and people in general, temptations, new people, and situations where we are presented with similar choices. So, like we go through spirals. So as we come to the 360, we can either choose to go back around and make it a circle. We can keep doing the same wash cycle, or we can take a step up and do another spiral. And I'd say I'm doing opposite spirals now, but in each of these situations, we're presented with the opportunity to choose who we are in each moment and to create good karma or create bad karma. Now, typically with exes, you're going to see it that it's one of two things. Either that person has been, well, I'm going to say one of three things. Either that particular ex, there's something that there could be a piece of your soul that, like, left your body for a while because of a trauma you went through with them, or you could have caused that to occur with them, not intentionally, but it could have happened, and there's some sort of healing that needs to occur in there that usually has to do with mother-father wound stuff. And usually once that has occurred, then the relationship naturally ends. Preferably in a good way, but sometimes depending on the ex and how well you've been paying attention to spirit, it can be a dramatic ending too. But when the lessons are learned, and there's no more reason for that lesson to continue. And typically you can tell if that's the reason that this ex is around, because they will continue to bring up the same issue. They will continue to trigger the same issues within you, and you will continue to trigger the same issues within them until either one of you learns the lesson and the other can go on to another person they can learn that with, or you will both continue to trigger those things with each other until you just can't stand it anymore and you both are repelled from each other. The other reason that an ex might be continuing to come into your vibration is that they might actually be at least one of your divine matches. And if that is the case, then typically you're going to see them triggering things within you that are not triggering things. I want to give it a different word. Like, rather than dragging you down into low vibrational places of things that you need to heal, typically that person is going to offer you pathways to come up. Usually either they're already up there, or they're about the same space as you, or they're seeking to have you help them go up. But you'll notice that the vibration is different. There'll be more moments of gratitude with them. They'll be supportive of you. They'll offer you unconditional love, really unconditional, like whether or not you choose them, kind of unconditional, but they also are not unhealthy. They're not waiting on you. They're not basing their entire life decisions on you, but they are there. They're there. The third thing that the third karmic lesson that exes can teach us is well, not necessarily teach us, it's like teach and show, is that if we have many exes in our vibration on a regular basis, we're kind of showing that we are not ready for divine partnership yet. We're still there, for whatever reason, there's still some karmic learning to do in there. And I'm not talking about, like, you have one or two exes that you still talk to. I mean, like, you still talk to all of your exes, or you still, let's say, more than three. You have more than three exes, and not only do you talk with them, but you share things going on in your current relationship with them, or they know you on a very intimate level, or you had a lot of trauma with them, and they've still not apologized for any of it. There's been no real closure in it. Or you still have feelings for them in terms of, like, them, like, if they would accept you, you would totally chase them. Or even on the other side of that, like, say that you just really do enjoy the friendship aspect, but they continue to be the kind of person that, like, they still pursue you even when you say you don't want to be pursued. Even if you're healed in, like, I mean, those could be people that are there to teach you about your boundaries and your self-worth. But really, it's about asking yourself the question, if you were in relationship with your divine partner, your soulmate, your twin flame, the person that you're going to happily spend the rest of your life with, do you feel like having a connection with all these exes is going to create positive or negative karma in your relationship? And the question is, what do you want it to be? There's no wrong answers in this. If you just simply have to recognize that you reflect your partner, and your partner reflects you. So if you're going to have a bunch of exes and in your vibration, then they likely are too. And if you're the kind of person that, you allow these exes to call upon you, to have a lot of relationship benefits with you that either they misused when you were together, or they didn't take advantage of until you were broken up, then your partner is also going to have that too. Whether or not it's actually exes, it might be friends or coworkers or something, but there will be a reflection of that. And think about that. How would you feel about that if your partner had a lot of other people that that they gave a lot of their attention to? Like, if you're comfortable with having a partner who gives more of their attention to other people than they give to you, then by all means, your divine match is going to be somebody who also does that too, and you guys can both be comfortable in that. However, if you feel like you're still in a high vibration, but your choice is that you don't want somebody who's, like, makes you the center of their universe, but you want to be their priority attention, then you have to be able to be the kind of person who gives them priority attention. And if you are comfortable being with somebody who has a lot of people chasing them around, and they're the kind of person that, like, they're comfortable with telling the others no, and saying, no, I'm okay, no, I don't want to go out with you, no, I don't want to do this, but they still keep those people around, or that they allow them to stick around, whether their reasoning is because they don't want social embarrassment, or they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, or whatever the reasoning is. If you're okay with having somebody who has others that they allow to pursue them, that they don't just cut off when their boundaries have been broken enough, let's say twice, then that's okay. That's fine, because your partner's going to reflect you. If you're okay with them being that way, then it's okay for you to be that way. But typically, in a healthy relationship, like, we should be comfortable with our partners having friends of any gender, from any, well, from most walks of life, should be comfortable, not jealous or possessive, but we should also be aware of what is healthy and what is not, and be aware of recognizing when our partners are either in karmic energy or still have some karmic lessons to learn. And I would say, in my experience and as a coach, that if your partner still has a large number of X's in their vibration somewhere, whether through social media or in person or in relation to family, and these aren't X's that they have children with, or like some healthy bond of friendship, they're not healing those things, or they're still needing to, but they're not coming into their divine energy if they're not healing those things and releasing the X's. So if X's are coming into your vibration, then that's what you need to look at too, is what do I need to heal with these people? If my X's are coming up, is it about boundaries? Do I need to place boundaries? Is it about self-worth? Do I need to recognize that I still have plenty of friends who are going to love and adore me, even if somebody in our social circle is that I'm not talking to them anymore? Am I worried about people thinking that I'm trying to be dramatic? It's self-worth stuff. Whenever you're worried about the court of public opinion, it has more to do with your self-worth than anything people would actually think. And I guarantee you that most of the people's opinions that you actually care about would actually be quite proud and impressed of you. So deal with the self-worth in that. And, if it's somebody that you think is likely your divine partner, then start looking at that. Start looking and seeing, like, okay, if it is them, then you start doing your healing and see if they reflect you. Test them out. Start, and likely it is that they are there in that moment. Yes, they are your divine partner, but they are there to help you learn how to accept love, to allow love in. If they are a person who's providing you with unconditional love and you are scared of it, or you're looking for the other shoe to drop, or waiting for the axe to drop, or looking for the tricks or the trap doors or the manipulations in it, then that's for you to learn, and that's your karmic lesson in that. And whereas karmic X's are there to help you release negative habits and then release them, release yourself from them, your divine partner is there to help you learn positive lessons and help you learn to accept yourself and help lead you back to yourself as they lead themselves back to themselves. And then, as assuming that you want to be, as that grows and you release karmics, like negative X's, then you open up the opportunity to come to union with your divine partner in healthy ways and grow even more, have more fun, because work's never done. And on the third end, if it's simply a matter of you preparing for your divine partner to come in, like maybe you haven't actually met your divine partner, or if even it's either or, if you've met them, if you have exes in your vicinity and you feel like you've already got good self-worth and you have good boundaries and you don't worry about the court of public opinion too much, then it's simply a matter of asking yourself, of clarifying, do I want to have a loving relationship where it is influenced by my interaction with these exes, and how are these exes like affecting me? Are they annoying me? Do they frustrate me? Do I feel like a victim or a villain with them? If those are things that affect you when you are just you and just on your own, how do you think that's going to affect who you are in your relationship? And when it comes to other karmics, like let's say at work, like you have a crusty boss. Well, that's to help you learn to stand up for yourself in authentic ways and to recognize when to end commitments that no longer serve you. And many relationships are like that too, but, you know, if you have a crusty boss that's like, oh, that's what it's there for. And anyone that comes into your life that is, I'm going to say, an overgiver, a people pleaser, they are there to help teach you about how you're doing that and how to have healthy boundaries and how to learn to no longer be a victim. And with any, I'm going to say, inanimate karmics, whether it's alcohol, drugs, smoking, caffeine, eating better, physical ailments, things like that, those are all about helping you learn to take better care of yourself, practice good self-care. Well, I think I'm going to leave it at this, simply because my videos can only be so long before my phone starts to say, I have no more memory. So please let me know in the comments below or inbox me if you would like any further detail about how to recognize when you're being presented with opportunities to learn karmic lessons.